Okay, howdy. So basically, I've been wanting to get into cars and stuff like that. Um, After talking to dad, and he took like it all started because I was, okay, I really like Dodge. I really like Dodge Challengers, all time fave. I like all the colors, black, pink, blue. I just love the car. I've never driven one ever. Just seeing them and seeing them driving are just so just dope to me, like just legit dope. And so I wanted me one so bad. And then I just kept, with everybody in my family, I was like, hey, there's a Dodge. Hey, there's a Dodge. I'll start pointing them out when we go out on trips or go somewhere to eat, and I'll just see one drive by the house. I just like, hey, I just really want this type of car. So my family knows, because I'm talking about it all the time. So one day while I was talking to my dad, he told me about these car shows. He told me to look up about how people usually like modify some of their older cars. A lot of Mexicans do, and they'll modify it to where like the wheels would be larger, they'll have rims and make the car go up. I forgot what that's called. He told me what it was called. That's when I started researching that, and then I saw this video pop up about how to get into car flipping. Basically, buying a car for a reasonable price and then fixing it up if it needs any fixes. As a beginner, just like simple stuff, and then reselling that car for a higher price to get profit. You can do that over a weekend, a 2-day period, or a week. And I was like, this seems pretty fun. I want to do this too. So I watched a couple of videos, and I did kind of get a little discouraged. I'm like, all this stuff here, I don't really know much about it. So I want to go to school for it. I don't really want to watch videos and just kind of wing it. I want to have like a kind of course or roadmap to help me learn how to do it. So I was gonna go to college for it. I mean, I got everything set up. I was gonna get a 1-year certificate and all that stuff, and then some stuff happened, and unfortunately, I was no longer able to do that at this time to go up there and learn about cars. I tried to get a job at some car dealerships, not car dealerships, but like AutoZone, like a car kind of helping place, and it turned out that the managers were rude. The people that was on the phone were really rude. I went up to AutoZone. I went to this other place called I don't know, Auto something, but it's kind of like AutoZone. And I asked the guy like, hey, I did put my application online. I did it actually like 2 or so hours ago, and I called him. He was just like, yeah, I'll pull them. I pull them. I don't pull them right now. I'll pull them later. So I came up there actually get his name. I didn't get his name on the phone, and I just noticed they just really weren't like so, on point. Like I'm ready to get like let's look at your application. Let's go. You wrote my name down, but I kept coming. I came again. I think a few days later, and then I came the next week, and he just kept blowing me off. And officially now it's been about 2 or so weeks, I think, and he still hasn't got it back to me. And so I'm thinking about moving on because honestly, if I wasn't able to go to school for it, and I'm trying to get jobs at different locations, I know I could call a bunch of places, let's say 100 more, even 5, and try to figure out, that. But I'm just seeing like it shouldn't be this hard to do something that really matters to you. And I'm asking myself now, like, do I really want to do it? And their cars are still very interesting to me. I clean a lot of car dealerships because where we work at this place called where they a lot of cars, whatever. So but yeah, I was able to be around cars there and just kind of see them and just kind of just like this seems interesting enough to where I want to try it. But like as of right now, if there's a lot of resistance happening, I shouldn't feel like I have to do that. But there is a lot of correlations between a car and a cell phone, the idea of fixing something at that technical aspect. And I just really haven't noticed that. That, just how technical, and everybody always said like I'm into tech anyway, and I always have. In school, um, I wasn't really that crazy strong in math or anything like that. Reason being, I didn't really have that support, and always was like crazy stuff that they make you think like if you don't understand the crazy calculus or algebra 2, then you're not a math nerd, and you don't have to be that. What I've really seen is I need a more compassionate approach with math because I don't have a lot of confidence in doing those because I don't practice math all the time. So right now, I even went up to the lady, told me to practice my math, and I want to go to UAHD to change my major from TC to there so I can do IT technician, do 2 years there for an associate's degree, and move over to SAU. But yeah, I can definitely see this as a path, just that technical aspect, and I already have that kind of loving, compassionate sort for like, the customer when that does come. But yeah, I'm saying this to say today, mom took me up to this place called with this guy named Scott, and really nice guy, really nice guy. She sent uh 3 phones up there. Went up there to go drop three of dad's iPhones off because he specializes in iPhones, and he's fixing them now. And mom told me to ask him about me, kind of working underneath him, being an intern with him or stuff like that. And I just was like, just like I said, there's a lot of things been going on, excuse me, and I've just kind of been all over the place. I'm just like, okay, I'll ask him. And when I asked him, he was super duper nice about it. He was like, of course you can come by and come do that. I don't mind. Um, Call me. He told me to call him next week to kind of check back on what he thinks about it, but he seems like he's definitely going to need a lot of help. He's answering phone calls literally every second of time. People bringing in devices. He has to fix the devices. He has to check the devices in, check them out, call people to see if they're picking stuff up, like clean the store. There's a lot that he's doing. Even when we came in, I was like, we just came in for just to drop these iPhones off so he can fix them. So yeah, I asked him about the internship, and he said yeah, of course, just call me. I'll let you know next week. But he said he just never thought about it. And when I'm looking at his background too, I get a background of who this guy is. He's a family guy. He's been doing this for 15 years. He worked as a retail manager before, and he did this in his spare time, and then he went full time with it. He said he went to college. He got these certifications, kind of boost his thing to give him more, uh, what's the pathos? Like, accountability. It's a trust. Like, uh, what's the word? When you say like you know something and you're just kind of like putting that, I don't know, just like you're saying like I can do it. I have oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm really fighting for this word. Credibility. He's credible. He's credible. He is credible. That's the word I'm looking for. Credible. So he has all of these certificates. He has a comp TIA A+. He has this phone certification, iPhone certification. I did some research and I found about this. There's this international kind of program thing that kind of runs over the phone thing, and I think that's what he got it in. And then he has this other certification, but they're all in hardware, software, and just like the general aspects of phones. And of course, he has a lot of people that come in because it's a local area. Everybody knows, oh, I'm gonna go to this guy Scott and get my stuff fixed. He's really reliable for my various reviews. He cares about the people. He cares about helping his community. It's wonderful. And doing this research, and I even looked at it. These certifications aren't that expensive. They're less than $1,000. And on top of that, after doing a couple of phones, like let's even say 2, you paid off like the first one for I think it was a CompTIA. No, it was like the Google one. One of them is like literally only $300. It's like $400 for the course, and it's literally self-paced. You have access to the teachers and all of this stuff. Literally fixing two people's phones for like $270. Depending on even maybe they want like to fix their glass or to do a back replacement, something simple that you may go through in the program. You literally can be paid to learn. Get their phone and get paid while you're learning. Can you believe that? That's insane. That literally is insane. It's not even expensive. And the point of the fact that you're learning while you're doing it is just mind blowing. So anyway, I did that research and I'm just kind of like really overwhelmed by like how this just clicks. And this was the same thing when I got my GED. When I'm doing this stuff and it's just like this just clicks. Coming into the class, I don't feel weird or anything like I did when I came into AutoZone. Like it just felt off. I got my TC. I mean, that felt like it was easy enough. I mean, I did that. It was, yeah, I can definitely see me doing it. And I want to open Tech Savvy. Now, when I first thought about Tech Savvy, it was out of the idea that I wanted to, what was it? Social media management. So I was doing, like, I went to like this local boxing academy and I asked the guy, my mom had told me, just ask him, my brother was boxing, to manage his Instagram because he wasn't really doing much of it. He's busy. He has to run the whole thing by himself. And I tried it and I really got to see that part of me. I don't really like trying to figure something out on Canva for this person. I didn't really know his business. I didn't know who he was. I just didn't really click for me, creative aspect. However, when I was online doing virtual classes for my ninth grade year, because I didn't go in physical, all that COVID stuff, and then I just came out of homeschool. I really enjoyed hardware. I remember not even in my computer science class, I was really diving into hardware. They kind of went over the whole aspect of computer science. We went into cybersecurity, we went into cloud computing, and all this other stuff. But in one of my classes, it was business. I'm really glad I got in that class. It was a business survey of business. That's what the class. Wonderful teacher, Miss Baumgartner. I still love her. She's really wonderful. And she said a lot of really nice things to me. She just like, I've always been there, kind of like a student. A lot of, online kids, I'm kind of driving off the thing here, but a lot of online children don't show up to classes, don't really interact with the teachers. And a lot of teachers still want that connection with their students. And I was giving them that because I enjoyed the classes. I didn't mind showing up. I didn't mind being there. So anyway, diving off the road here, what I'm going into is in that class, they had a whole section about computer hardware. And I'm thinking back now, I don't really understand why I went into that, but it dived really deep into it. Like they had you plug certain things in, and it's kind of like simulation on a computer, where you had a computer like actually in here, and you have to like drag your mouse and like connect different pieces, like a puzzle basically. And it would actually like put the DVD player up to the computer, hook up the printer to the computer, hook this up to the computer, hook that up to the computer. Really nice stuff, and I enjoyed that. And I remember after taking so much notes, I'm like, I like hardware, I really do. And then getting into my computers, I remember since early on in age, I've really been into like just computers. The idea of it. I learned about building a website in this thing called freecodecamp.org. I learned, and I remember that whole day. I think that whole day, I literally just burned through the HTML course. And when I got into CSS and like designing stuff, I don't like that. And that makes sense because when I did social media management, I didn't like doing that either. I didn't like doing CSS and like getting in Canva and try to make things look all pretty and stuff. I don't really like that. I don't preferably like that. For me, that makes me very like overwhelmed. Like there's just so much you can do to make something look nice, and it's like, is this the right thing to do? Is this the right thing to do? So I don't like that. I also was into video editing, and that was more out of I remember the first video I ever made was my sister. She made macarons, and she needed somebody to make a video for her. So I just recorded the process, and then I just kind of, just put the clips in like a simple in iMovie, put them together, added some random music to it, and that was my first ever video. And I remember thinking like, I did this. Like this is really cool. This is really nice, and I think we put it on YouTube and started her little channel, and then after a while we just stopped posting. She did twirling and the other stuff, and then she stopped. She cut our channel off. Um, she didn't want to do it anymore, so she cut it off. I forgot why, but that was that. But I like that. But then that same aspect of that creativity of trying to make something look pretty, that will overwhelm me a lot of times because it's for someone else. They have the time not even know what they want. They're just like, just video me doing this, and she's twirling, just video me, man. Add more music and stuff. And then I got into the aspect of dance and stuff, and trying to edit a video with dance, and I worried about how that works. So I learned a little bit of that, and then my brother did like funny stuff, like stop motion videos and adding effects and sound effects. So I learned about that. And then I did food and stuff like that, and I videotaped how that would work with food and how to record and have a more of a relaxing kind of standpoint, stuff like that. And then I did myself my own videos, which is like talking like I'm doing now, and editing out ums and ends and different stuff like that. Making gaming videos when I did that. Yeah. So I know for a fact social media and marketing, it's not really my thing. I can do those things, but it's not really what I like. I really enjoy hardware, like seeing like the inside of a computer, taking it apart, putting it back in. I really like that same with Sudoku puzzles and what else I did, word searches and like technical stuff like that. And I'm glad I was able to get that whole pie full of it. Cybersecurity is fun too. I did that. I did this online program for that, for cybersecurity, and we did Raspberry Pis and other stuff like that. But when I got into like getting into the computer and coding a lot, I didn't really like that aspect because it made me feel very overwhelmed with just like how much this stuff is. Put this code in, and computer tell you back this code and stuff. I like the simple aspect of having like a firewall and like the simple thing to understanding trojans and stuff like that. I like that. But stuff that goes too deep like that, or zeros and ones, I don't like that. So yeah, I've been pretty into computer science, and I'm glad I'm having this kind of this shift towards understanding more of why I'm interested in those things, and diving deep into them to where I might have the aspect of being underneath this guy and letting him be under his wing so he can teach me what I need to do, and actually getting to do certifications. So yeah, tech savvy has always been out of me just kind of fixing simple things. It's never really been out of social media management or anything like that. And I kind of kept blowing it back, but I feel like this is just so too simple to where, why would I do this? God, I already know how to do. I already know how to fix something simple. I don't really know how to fix something simple. Who am I to say I can fix a computer or something? But I've never taken any certification to do that. I just said, I don't know. It just feels too easy. And I kept trying to dive into other stuff when it just is right in front of my face that computers is it. And I've done so much broad understanding of it to where now I can get more specific to what really interests me, that allows me to, kind of dive into what tech savvy is. And I really wanted to do middlemans and all this other stuff. What I'm finding is that comes with time. Once I get where I want to go, and I can put other people into it to take over my spots, where I can kind of, be more of an overseer and just let go. And that feels good. Technology is something that's always, going to be around. I'm not saying AI, I'm not talking about that, but that is growing. But technology is something that's always going to be here, and it's always going to continue to grow. There's a wonderful pay range in that. Everybody's your customer. There's not really anybody that doesn't need another tech spot on the shop. Everybody needs money different. So thank you for watching. And I just want you to understand that I feel like the things that seem the most easiest to you, we kind of push past ourselves because we're like, it can't be this. There's no way. It's just too easy. But a lot of the time, it's literally that thing. It's like screaming in your face. You just have to pay attention and focus and really hone into those things and just kind of keep nourishing them. I've kept doing, like, right now I got myself into another program. It's Girls Who Can Code. I got into that, and I'm just I've always been trying to find online things to keep learning that you don't have to do anything that costs money. You can go to free stuff. I've been into crocheting, for example, since I was young, and I would just go to the library and go to those crochet meetings with older women and just crochet there with other people. There, I was free. I didn't have to go pay to a college class on how to crochet with other people. Just go do things for free. Just keep nourishing things that you really like. And it may seem like at first I don't really know much about it, but that love and that kind of passion will, like that, I'm telling you, what is it? Hard work beats talent, but talent is lazy. It's true. You hear people say this all the time, but literally, guys, it's literally just about keep doing it, keep nourishing those things, especially when you're getting all the signs that this is the right thing for you to do. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you for letting me just throw all of this at you.